Good morning and welcome to the morning show, The Fan Perspective. Josh will be joining us momentarily and we'll get the show underway. What a great Grey Cup game was had once again. Man, the CFL knows how to do it. They always seem to have a good championship game. NFL, lots of times blowout. CFL Grey Cup, wow. Always seems to be a tight, fantastic game. Congratulations to the Montreal Alouettes. They go and have a tear near the end of the season. Last 8 weeks, I believe, they were undefeated. That includes the playoffs and, of course, the Grey Cup. Beat the best team in the league, the Toronto Argonauts, and then they go and beat the dynasty, the Winnipeg Blue Bombers. So hats off to the Montreal Alouettes, your 2023 Grey Cup champions. Cody Fajardo, I salute you. The Riders banished you. You were not good enough. It was your fault and this, that, and the other. And man, you're a Grey Cup champion. Not only a Grey Cup champion, a Grey Cup MVP. Wow. Does that burn in Riderville this morning, or are you just happy for Fajardo? I guess we'll wait and see. Shoot us a text, comment on it. Are you happy for Fajardo, or are you disappointed? So Josh is joining us right away, and we'll get the show rolling.
Tyson.
Good morning, man. How is she going?
Great. How are you?
Not bad, not bad. We are live. We are rocking the beat already. And I was just talking about Cody Fajardo and whether people are happy for him or does it burn him that he left the Riders and, he's CFL MVP and a Grey Cup champion.
You bet. Yeah, another player cast away by the Riders org, and here we sit. Here we sit.
I'm happy for him. I'm still not disappointed. We've moved on. He would have never won in Riderville this year. We don't have the team to have him win in Riderville.
Yeah, there had to be the right team for him. Montreal was the place. I'm super happy for him. I maybe gave him too hard of a ride when he was here, of course, but I don't think our team was the right fit for him because our team sucks. Until we get rid of the brass, nobody's going to win in Riderville. I read it this morning while I was making the coffee. I read a guy say, it doesn't matter who we get, we're not going to win with them. We need a culture change. And to change a culture, we need a lot of more pieces to move.
Yeah. Well, hopefully we have a new coordinator defensively, offensive coordinator, special teams coordinator. Of course, we're going to have a new head coach, right? So you're going to get all those. Is that enough? And we need a lot of players. Like we have the only position in my mind that is solidified is the wide receiver. That's all.
That's it. Thank God, because the rest were dog shit. So that's about all that needs to be solidified out of that group that we had. So now we got to go hunting.
Yeah, and I mean, maybe we got, I don't know, a room full of ex-cons too, probably somewhere in there. That room's quite full too, so.
We don't need to get into that today. We can leave that one alone for now. But yeah, you're not wrong. You're not wrong.
I want to get on this. We're going to go over the NFL scores. I'll read them off, and then I talked to you a bit about it last night, but wow. Okay, let's start Thursday night. Your Baltimore Ravens, of course, 34-20, victorious over Cincinnati. Joe Burrow done for the year.
That's sad. I mean, good for me, but bad for the league. I feel for him. It sucks. And I got to glad you brought the injury part up, because all I ever hear, man, being a Ravens fan, but it's not even just a Ravens fan, it's all over the place. Oh, Lamar, he's risky. He's injury prone. He's missed 14 games since 2018. Joe Burrow will have missed over 20 since 2020. And they don't talk near about him being injury prone as they do about Lamar Jackson.
Yes.
And that's shit. That kid is under such a I hate it, man. It's like they just love to hate on him. Oh, he's a running back. He's a running back. He can't throw. He's this, he's that. He's injury prone. Just lay off a little bit. He's doing what he can. He's a winner. He's the third highest winning percentage at this point in his career in the history of the NFL. Um, and guys, I just don't understand why one guy doesn't receive the same criticism, a lot like Justin Herbert doesn't receive the same criticism that Lamar would. If Lamar was in that situation, it would all be on him. He's a piece of garbage, you know. Can't win, can't win. It's
Yeah.
just so weird how the league does that.
I find it stereotypes. And as soon as you're a running quarterback, you're injury prone. Whether you
Yep.
are or you aren't, oh, that guy runs. He's going to get hurt.
Well, I mean,
Well, go ahead.
Lamar has cut his running down to 20% of what he used to run, and they still call him a running quarterback. He's one of the highest throw percentage quarterbacks in the league this year, the most accurate passer up to this point, but he's still a running quarterback to all the critics. I just don't get it. They will not let that go.
Yeah, well, Jalen Hurts too. He used to run all the time, hardly runs
Yeah.
at all. He's a running quarterback though. Can't throw.
Jalen Hurts, Lamar, and Tua have all adjusted their game to be more
Yeah,
accurate, better throwers, and nobody gives a shit. They're still a RB first if you ask any critic. Yeah.
yeah. It's all about Pat Mahomes, and he's not a running quarterback, right?
He runs as much as all of them. It's unbelievable.
Maybe more, maybe more.
Yeah,
But
maybe more.
we'll get into more injuries because that is a huge thing to talk about. But I'll go through the rest of the scores and then we'll talk about it. Dallas crushes Carolina 33-10. Cleveland over Pittsburgh with a rookie quarterback
I mean,
13 to
I
10.
hate the Steelers, but God, they screw me every time. If I'm not against them, I'm betting with them because wow, they don't lose. Their defense is so good playing against another rookie quarterback for the Browns. Of course, they had to just punch us right in the chin.
Well, they weren't the only ones. We'll touch
They
on that
weren't.
again. Detroit squeaks out a win over
Oh,
Chicago 31-26.
it took
Wow.
right to the bitter end to win that one.
Yeah. Another choker coming up. Green Bay 23-20 over the Chargers. We talked about Herbert a bit there.
Last night we did, yeah.
Yes. Houston 21-16 winners over Arizona. Jacksonville 34-14 over Tennessee. That was an easy win for them. Miami had a little difficulty with Vegas. 20-13 winners, though.
Yeah, they did.
And of course, we had Washington getting hammered by the New York Giants, 31-19. Yes. And San Francisco, 27-14 winners over Tampa. Buffalo pounded the New York Jets, 32-6. LA, 17-16 winners over Seattle.
Ooh, that was a tough one. That was a tough one, yeah.
And Denver squeaks out a 1-point win over Minnesota, 21-20.
Oh, man, that was heartbreak because Minnesota had the game. They had it down to the 20-yard line and first down, handoff, and they fumbled it. And then it goes all the way back down. And then they just couldn't get their legs back after. That was to finish the game. They were up by 7 at that time, 7 or 8. I think it was 17-9, I think, 17-9, I think, or something like that at the time. And yeah, they had the game in hand, 4 minutes left or something like that. Get a field goal even, and it basically puts that one out of reach. And they fumble. And you know how that works. Normally turnovers turn into points no matter where they happen when it's crunch time.
Yeah, and if it's nothing else other than the momentum swing, man, is it tough to get it back and press again. And it's so often the defense is played out already, and then you turn it over and bang, they got to go out there again.
Fourth quarter, that defense, doesn't matter how good they've been playing or how little or more they're tired in the fourth quarter. And when you have to put them out there for extra points, it just always seems to bite you in the ass.
And Denver's got a good running game in that example. So they pounded the ball all game. You turn it over, your linemen, your linebackers, they're tired. Your DBs are sick of coming up and trying to make tackles. And, that's when you're at the mercy of the offense on the other side because you're tired. You take shortcuts, you maybe miss a tackle, and bang, it's over.
Yeah, that's 100% truth. Well, actually, there's one other game that was super tight yesterday that shouldn't have been, was the Texans game.
Oh,
That game should not have been tight.
No, I watched a bit of that game, and the Texans, their defense was not great
No,
to begin with.
and Stroud had his first ever 3 interception game, even dating back to university. So he got exposed a bit yesterday, but like a winner does, still comes back with a dagger at the end to Tank Dell, 40-some-yard toss. I love the kid. He was able to overcome. First time with a little bit of adversity, and he finished strong. And you know what? That's what they always say about a good athlete. Doesn't matter what you did at the start. Did you finish strong?
Yeah, well, Houston is ahead of schedule, in my opinion.
Hmm.
They started the rebuild, new head coach, new quarterback, new everything, and man, they're there. They're there. They are a playoff team.
You bet. CJ Stroud is all the difference. He's what Carolina was hoping Bryce Young was going to be. That's
Yeah,
that was.
it's crazy. Carolina, on the other hand, is not there.
No, and I think Houston is already above the Jaguars in my opinion. Already.
Uh yeah, they could be right now. If you were to say standing wise, they're close, I guess. And also, I don't know if Stroud is. Oh God, is he as good as the Jags guy there, Trevor Lawrence?
His
I think if I'm
statistically
picking in a playoff game, I'm still going with Lawrence, maybe.
Statistically, maybe. Well, yes, actually, statistically, he's way better this year. But as for game playing, yeah, Trevor Lawrence has been there longer, but I'll say Stroud has a better receiving core. Tank
Yes.
Dell, he's got a number one. But Jags have Etienne. However, the Jags have been one of the most up and down teams I've ever seen get absolutely demolished one week and then
Yeah.
crush the next where the Texans have been pretty well in every single game. They've been
Steady
there.
Eddie.
And
Steady
I
Eddie.
I love that. That's the team I roll with. The team that doesn't really scare you like the Ravens scare the piss out of me. They can go out and beat a team by 40 points and then score 7 and lose 9-7. And it's like, guys, what are you doing? Where are you? You know?
Well, let's bring up the playoff picture here to clarify things, and then we'll get into our how we made out on our ticket and talk a
Hey,
few other
first
things.
week, I thought we did pretty good. Two games, is that what it was, Tyson? We'll get into that after. But what is it?
Yes,
Two that
yes.
two?
So in the AFC, Chiefs #1 seed, Ravens #2, Jags #3, Miami #4. Browns have moved up to #5 with their rookie quarterback. Houston #6, Steelers in at 7, but the Bills are on their case. Like the Buffalo
Okay.
Bills are on the bubble outside. I would say after that, well, geez, the Broncos all of a sudden are right there at 5-5.
They're close. Yeah, they're
Yes,
there.
I would say they're a closer 5-5 than Cincinnati is at 5-5, being Joe Burrow's
Especially
one.
with the situation in Cincinnati. I agree with that. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, and the Colts are at 5-5. Quietly, the Colts are at 5-5 on the outside looking in. Wow, who'd have thought? NFC.
Yeah.
We got the Eagles, #1, the Lions, #2, the Niners, #3, Saints, #4, which is surprising to me, actually.
Yeah. What the hell?
Cowboys, #5, and I'm going to get into this a little bit with the playoff format. Saints are 5-5, and your 4 seed. The Cowboys
Yeah.
are 7-3, and they're your 5 seed. That I just
hate
want to
that.
see 1 through 7. I don't care what division you're in. Best record 1.
Yeah.
Second best record 2.
Best,
Stuff like
best
that.
record is the best team.
Yes. Seahawks clinging on to a spot at #6. They're 6-4. Vikings are your 7th place playoff team right now, 6-5. And then there's a gap. The NFC has a huge gap. On the bubble, the Packers at 4-6. They're on the bubble, believe it or not.
On the bubble,
They're your
yeah.
#8. The Rams 4-6 are #9. The Falcons 4-6 are #10. The Buccaneers 4-6, #11. Like, there is no way any of these NFC teams are getting in. The Vikings
I was
are
gonna say
basically a shoo-in.
I was gonna say at this point, the way that it looks there, at least it looks like that lineup is already set. It might adjust within itself to who
Yep.
moves up in seeds, but I think
Yep.
those seeds are stuck.
Yes, I do. The NFC is after the top 7 teams, the NFC is garbage.
And it's a quarterback issue over there. It's just there's not enough good starting quarterbacks over there. That's the issue on that bottom end, on the bottom end.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah,
according to the contracts, I think I'm going to start limbering up, maybe get ready
that's
for
true.
next
We
season. Like,
we might want to start stretching soon. Yeah,
I could hold a clipboard. That would be all right. Like,
dude,
give me
I
$1
can.
million. I'll hold the clipboard.
I could even be the guy that runs out with the water bottles and squeezes them in the helmets and that. Whatever you need, whatever
Yeah,
you need.
he probably gets $1 million too.
Well, more than us, I guarantee he's making more than you and me.
Oh, that doesn't take a lot, man. But
Yeah,
you
well,
gotta stretch out because squeezing that
that's
water bottle.
that's true. Arthritis would hinder you a bit. Yeah,
Yeah, later in life, that's almost equivalent to bull riding. Like
that's
just about
very similar. Congratulations, Dakota Butter. Holy
yeah,
shit, from
local boy.
Etonia, Saskatchewan. Misses the last 5 events. Still comes in with enough points to win from a broken collarbone. The man, I was in Etonia all weekend. It was a celebration up there, man. That kid's a stud.
Oh, he is, and rumor has it, pretty good intel that he rode with still a broken collarbone at the PBR.
It's a fact. I heard it from family up there this weekend. It's a fact. Yeah, it's
Oh,
unbelievable. He's a tank, dude.
now that is the definition of tough. Getting on a freaking bull with a
Yeah.
broken collarbone, riding it to victory. Oh my God. Like
4 times.
he definitely is as tough as they come.
That's cowboy tough. That's cowboy tough right there.
That's beyond cowboy tough. That's tank metal tough.
Yeah, that's ridiculous. That's when he's 60 going to be in a wheelchair tough right there, old boy.
Oh, yeah, he's going to feel it then when he's 60.
Yep.
I
But
remember that collarbone still hurts.
yeah, still never healed because I kept riding bulls. Yeah.
Yeah.
But congratulations, Dakota Butter, our local Saskatchewan. Jared Parsonage, I think, finished 12th in the country. And
Yep.
and he did good. He didn't get to all the events, so he wasn't able to rack up the points he needed because he's also in the NFR. So
Yes,
now Jared
correct.
will be concentrating on the NFR going forward. So best of luck to him. We're super stoked.
Yeah, and
It's
we're
going to
going
be
to have him
awesome.
on the show. And we're going to have him on the
Yes,
show
sir.
sometime here. So, but yeah, Jared was in the CPRCA tour more so than the PBR tour. So
Yes, for the NFR points and all that. So
you
good
betcha.
for Jared. He was double dipping and he did very well.
Yeah, two local boys like Maple Creek and Etonia in the big bull riding events, both sides of the border. That's impressive. So
Making Sask proud, and that's where both my boys play. One plays in Maple Creek, and one plays in Etonia. So I feel like I'm home there.
yeah, right on, right on. Well, let's talk a little injury. Man, another weekend, another pile up of injuries in the NFL. Like,
Well, you're gonna have to go through them for me because, of course, yesterday I missed. I did catch some, but
yeah,
name some off yesterday. Some big ouches.
Bosa, Chargers out, foot
Oh,
injury. Um, Dobbs
like
got hurt in that Minnesota game.
yep,
Yeah, he
that
got
one I
hurt.
saw.
Yeah, Jones, Green Bay Packers out, knee injury.
Oh no. Okay.
So those are the three big ones that I heard, but I didn't watch some of the other games either as I was working a local hockey game too. But three, and we're not done the week yet. The Eagles Chiefs
Yeah.
play tonight, and God
Hey.
willing, there's no injuries.
Yeah, we don't need no injuries. I'm not on the top two teams. We don't want that. The league don't need that.
Well, Chiefs is okay, but like,
Well, okay. I mean, that helps me and helps you. So, okay.
yeah,
All right. I'll accept it. I'll take that one.
that should be a great game tonight. But when I always think it's going to be a great game, it turns into not so great.
This year's been weird. Like, I'll tell you, like, that Steelers Browns game should have been great. And everything I read was an absolute snooze fest. Like, no offense whatsoever. Just brutal offense. Just game managing the whole time. And then so I watched the highlights last night. It was the smallest highlight package I have ever seen in my life because there wasn't
Five
any.
seconds. 5 seconds.
Oh my God. It was like, oh, and the Browns won today, and they just like showed them celebrating. That was the end of it. It was just like they just showed them celebrating. I'm like, wow, there must have been some highlights for that one. Like,
A
good job.
field goal kick for 3 seconds. Hey!
Yeah, that's what it was. It was the end of the kick going through his celebration, and it's hilarious. So, and then
Well,
there was one other one they said was absolutely hard to watch, but I don't remember what one it was. But it was
You've
There's
always
no-
talked about it that Pittsburgh's quarterback situation is terrible. When the Browns bring in their third string, give him the start. He hasn't started all season and he beats you.
Yeah.
There's trouble.
Yeah, and the Browns, they're good enough with defense to win lots of games. They're kind of like what we thought the Jets were gonna be at the start of the year. That's
Yeah.
how, like, with Myles Garrett pushing the front up there, like they're a force, and they'll always be a tough out. I don't think they have the offense now, especially without Deshaun Watson. I just don't think they do. And they're missing their number one running back. Their number two is great, but Chubb out for the year. I think they'll be an out for sure. But they're going to be a tough out, whoever gets them, whether it be whoever.
Yeah. And you talked about the Jets in that segment there. What a disappointment. If you're the GM of the Jets, you let a season slip away. I know Rodgers got hurt. If you do anything different at quarterback and bring somebody half decent
You're winning 2 to 3 of those games.
you're a playoff team.
Yeah.
You really are. And then you get Rodgers back, who's on time to play at the end of the season. But now
he's so ahead of schedule. It's disgusting. He's throwing and running right now. The guy's a beast. I don't know what kind of drugs he takes, but we need to find out.
But you're not playing him this year, if you ask me now.
Why would you? You only play him if you're that 8th, 7th seed. You get in there, baby. You throw him in there, and you've got a contending team. Nope, not anymore.
No, they're not even a pretender. They're a bottom ender.
They're a Saskatchewan Roughrider CFLer.
Yeah, they are like brutal. And so I don't know how, when you got a great team like that you actually just sit and do nothing. It looks like the Oilers GM almost sit and do nothing and let a season just slip on away.
Yeah, it's extremely painful. Thank Christ we're not fans of the Jets, Tyson. That's all I got to say. Just like the Chargers, there is no faith left in the Chargers. Guys.
I will. So let's get on to our lottery ticket a little bit. The Chargers, the Steelers, and the Vikings. They burnt us, man. They burnt us.
They failed us.
Yes, we unfortunately each spent half of our winnings, and now we're that much further behind.
I don't know I don't know how I'm going to tell Megan. I already spent my winnings yesterday. I mean, maybe we should send an email to Dobbs, Herbert, and who's our other quarterback there? Whatever the third string is. Yeah. Dipshit over there in Steelerville. You each owe us $400 each because that's about what we're out. You stupid bastard.
They actually owe us $800 each because we were gonna get a cool $3,500 on our bets, and
they screwed us.
I distinctly remember us talking about the Jacksonville, Tennessee game, and then we totally sidetracked that one. But I think there's a bit of a key to this whole situation. Looking back now, 8 is very tough to predict. It is a go to 6 games kind of deal and kind of sure shot it, or do we stick with 8?
We can change it up week by week, man. We make the decisions. We own it. We own that ticket, buddy. Like
for sure.
And Jacksonville the week before lost by 30+ points. So it's like, that's what I mean. They're the Jekyll and Hyde of themselves. That's why I do not trust those bastards.
I know, and we made the rule that we couldn't bet on an Eagles or Ravens game. Well, possibly we should have bet on them because those would have been wins this week, maybe. So
yes, yeah, we'll find out tonight. But I do believe it's the year that the Eagles put Mahomes in his place.
Well, so I sure hope so, and that is eating turf on the ground.
Yeah, that's where you want him. That's where
I want him. I want him to be looking at the sky saying, "Why, oh, why, oh, why,
little fake grass sticking out of his helmet."
Yeah, but they're always a tough out. They're good.
So they're good. They're a winning football club. With Mahomes, it's always tough, and their defense is actually good this year, like legitimately good.
Yeah, they got some DBs that are really fast and
aggressive.
It's going to be good because both teams are very healthy now too.
They are.
Yeah.
Yep. No, that's a good team. And health. We talk about injuries so much is such a big deal to these guys. We talk about the Chargers choking and all this stuff. Well, they're missing is it Williams, their receiver who's been out all year. Went out first game. So all they got is Keenan Allen, and that Quentin Johnston was supposed to be the kid that steps up. Now,
Yeah.
apparently in preseason he was a stud. Well, last night he had a chance to win the game for him on fourth down, like a 40-some yard toss, lands it right in the breadbasket. It slipped through his hands, hit his kneecap on the route, and would have put him in field goal to at least tie it with 30 seconds left. And that was the end of the game right there. And he dropped 5 balls yesterday, 4 of which were like right through the hands, hit the chest, bouncing off. And I mean, and they had Keenan Allen. The teams know Keenan Allen was like triple covered.
Yeah.
So you can't go to Keenan, his regular guy. So the other guys are wide open and they can't make a catch, man. I watched the highlights last night and they showed a lot of them because the drops were just so prevalent. And I was just like, holy shit. And then that pissed me off too, because all they talked about was receivers dropping. Yet the Ravens lost 2 games this year because the receivers dropped 12 balls. And all they talked about was Lamar being shitty. And I was like, son of a bitch. This is unbelievable. When they lose, it's all on Lamar.
Yeah.
And when other teams lose, it's like, the receiving core just wasn't there for the poor kid. And I'm like, you sons of bitches. You sons of bitches.
The receivers weren't running the right routes, but Jackson should
Man, he could have fumbled it 40 times and been like, the running back, bad running back. And like, oh my God.
Did you see the highlights? 3rd and 5 on the final drive there for the Alouettes, and Fajardo went for that 20-yarder.
So about an hour after you texted me, because I had no idea what was going on. I was driving and
Yeah.
From Eston here is the worst cell phone service in the world. So I got nothing. So I got home. By that time, I already forgot about the game.
Yeah.
So I got home. You texted me the guy's name. I'm like, what? Like, I'm NFL guy who's playing right now. I'm like, it's Denver, Minnesota. I don't know who that is. And you're like, and then I'm like, the Grey Cup game. Like, oh my God. So then I'm trying to find it on my phone. But then of course the Sunday Nighter was on. So I had that on and then I didn't get to watch it till after. Yeah. I watched that final drive on the highlights. I watched the whole CFL package just so I could celebrate and have a bunch of whiskey and celebrate that the Bombers lost. Thank you, Jesus, Alouettes. And yeah, it was awesome.
Oh, like he stood in there and he made a throw of the ages. That was the game right there. And
he had lots of pressure coming. Lots of pressure was coming too.
Not sure how that Alouette got in behind coverage like that though either. Like,
and the throw was right on the money. Like had to be low, had to be just away. And accurate. Like, yeah, man, I was super excited for Cody Fajardo. And the fact that him and Sankey, neither of them threw any shade towards the Riders. They said, we don't air our dirty laundry. Yeah. Those guys get kudos to me.
Oh, for sure. And is this the end for Richie Hall in Winnipeg? Because I thought their defense give up a little more than they should, especially that last drive. You're playing guys off, and I mean, you're holding them to a field goal.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right. You should win that game. When you got more than a 3-point lead, you should win that game. Let's be honest, going all the way down the field. I'm just hoping it's the end of the Bombers' reign, and I do believe that it is going to be the end of the reign. They're aging, of course, right? Like every football team, they've had 4 amazing years. Thank God they only won twice. I know they've made it 4 times, but thank Jesus they didn't win all 4. So Parker's first thing he said to me this morning, he's like, they lost? I said, yeah. He's like, ooh, I need to bug my principal. I was like, yes, but do it with kindness. Do it with kindness.
No, I had to wear a Winnipeg jersey. That's cool. Parker, go after
her. He said, I told him, I said, all you got to do is look up at her and be like, was there a football game on Sunday? Do you know who won? And then look at her with a question on your face. I said, that's probably perfect.
Yes, I'd go a little harder.
I know you would, but he still got a pass.
I'm hoping you do it for me, man. I had to go through complete embarrassment at the home tournament. So, drill. I'll bail you out of the principal's office if you need it, Parks. Just text me.
Yeah, I'll give him your number. Yeah. So great game for the Grey Cup, which is awesome. I heard the halftime show was maybe the best that we've ever had as far as they said they actually sang it. Yeah, there was no fake shit, and they dropped 2 F-bombs. I was like, good for you. That's awesome. That's never happened like ever. I was like, good for Green Day. Right on.
That's live TV, man. That's live
That's
TV.
awesome.
Otherwise, it's tape delayed if there's no F bombs or anything happening.
That's how they knew it was real. Everyone's like, "Oh, these guys are actually singing this one." We're like, "Yeah, they are."
Reality TV at its best.
At its finest. And what else? So this weekend, Tyson, you were in Marengo.
We were, yeah. Senior boys had probably their best weekend of volleyball of the season. Like they were dominant. They were pushed a couple times, but man, oh man, never felt threatened actually. Like they brought their A game this weekend, and that was great to see.
No better time, because if you don't win there, you're not off to this weekend, and this weekend is it. This is where all the marbles lay on the table.
Yeah, and the three, and I won't say the three, the leading horses in each region kind of all had the same kind of weekend, very dominant. So yeah, it's gonna be a lot of fun. And I mean, there's always teams that come out of the woodwork that maybe had a little quieter season, but man, show up at provincials and they just put it on, right? So
there are certain kids that just shine under the light. It's just the way that it works. Sometimes a kid plays up, or whole team just gets a little momentum, and so yeah, it's anybody's ball game this weekend, and I'm wishing for the absolute best for them kids.
Yes, for sure. And tune in tomorrow night, because we are having a special provincial preview with coaches Donnie and Dylan.
I absolutely cannot believe that they agreed to that. I cannot believe that Donald Schmaltz would have agreed to any of this. This is blowing mine and my wife's mind.
So we'll talk later on today where we're going to set it up and stuff, and I'll come into town, and yeah, we're going to do a 30-minute preview or whatever, and then we can maybe run a show after that or whatever. And, we'll figure it out. I said to Tara, I love the morning show. I am missing getting together with my good buddy and having a couple beers, and there's something about doing it live together that makes it fun too. So
it's really hard to start cracking beers this early and then going to work after. People frown upon that shit, like it's one of those things. Yeah.
Well, isn't it Monday? Like the kids are off of school. Shouldn't the guy be out whooping it up or something?
I could text Cam and see if we could close, but I'm pretty sure I'd get a big LOL in return to that one.
Yeah, well, that's part of being an adult life. It sucks sometimes.
Adulting sucks.
But I did text Donnie and say she's happening, buddy, and he put ha 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 okay. So I'm taking that as a confirmed yes.
Yep, he's in. Yeah, he's in.
Yeah. So today the draw gets released at shortly after 1:00. So we'll know the draw. We'll know all the teams, and I'm sure Donnie knows all the teams, so we can just go over briefly what he knows about each team, and
where he thinks we stack up is what I'd like to know, where he personally thinks we stack up.
For sure. And then what it actually means. So Fox Valley, and Donnie told the boys after they won on Saturday, they have broken a record for most consecutive appearances at provincials.
It's unbelievable. What is it, Tyson? 20 some in a row?
I think it's 26.
26 provincials. And I was
it's around there.
That one. So it would be around there, because I went in 2020 was my first one. That was the first one they ever won. Was my first year, my second year, my third year. Those were the first three. I got the first three.
2002, you mean?
Was it 02? I graduated in 04.
2020 was 3 years ago, man.
I'm dating myself. 02, 03. I graduated in 04. So grade 10 was 02, then 03, then 04.
Yeah. So 02 would put us at 21. And did they 21. Go before you?
Yep. Yeah, they did. They never won anything, but there was my brother Justin. So it would have been my brother Justin's grade 12 year that they lost. They made it the first 2 years, then they lost. Didn't make it that year because he got sick. That was like the Michael Jordan flu game. He got sick and they lost in districts in the final, and 2 teams didn't get to go.
Okay.
So it would have been the year after he graduated. So 2000, 2001, 2002.
So we're right
2000 is
around
when they
there,
started.
25, 26 years. That is
Yeah.
unbelievable.
2000 would have been the first. Yeah. And I think we got like a sixth, then a fourth,
Yeah.
and then first. Yeah. It was
A whole
awesome.
pile. Yeah.
A
Yeah.
whole pile. Yeah.
Yeah. And I know Donnie's craving it because he can feel it a bit of so Peyton's, this is his third year. Of all the years, I feel this is the most dominant team they've had in the past 3 years. But we're going in healthy. We'll see where we are on the weekend, but super pumped. And we will
I'm
be
excited
live
too.
streaming all the games. We'll be live streaming the opening ceremony. So yeah, check us out on Fox Valley Senior Boys Volleyball, and you can enjoy all the action from home for those who cannot make it.
Yeah, it's gonna be awesome. And do you know how Darren did this weekend?
They got silver in
Silver, okay.
Swift Current. So another great both Swift Current Colts teams, girls and boys, were in PA, and they both lost to PA.
St. Mary's, right? I
Yeah.
knew the finals were both St. Mary's, but I wasn't sure on the outcomes. Okay.
Yeah. So great season again. And actually at Peyton's hockey last night, there's one the gentleman from Swift Current who was there. His son played in the volleyball, and he said the right team probably did win. They were the better team, but Swift Current fought and with sticks and stones, and they lost 16-14 in the third set.
No way. Well, when you got Darren Lehman as your coach, you're never going to be an easy out ever. That man just knows how to win with any style of team.
Yeah.
But I know this year, just from everything I did see, he didn't have any killers, if you know what I mean. Any guy that you needed a guaranteed point. He didn't have any bangers on his team. He had a team with some of the best defense, probably the best setter in the province. And great management, smart volleyball team. But sometimes you need a banger. You need one banger at certain times just to be like, all right, guys, we need a point now. This can't be another rally where we win the rally or outwork them. We got to throw this up. I need a kill. Let's go. Smack the kid on the back, get in there. And this year, I know his team didn't have any real bangers. They were just all consistently awesome. And it's hard to win that big man sport without a banger.
It sure is. And Friday night, they had a game, Swift Current, 32-30. I've never heard of a game 32-30.
Oh, my God. Like, that's crazy.
Yeah. That's
insane. 12 extra points.
I know. 1-1.
God.
Yeah. So anyways, I guess we're probably up for time. You're probably ready to go for work. And
not quite, but we're getting there. Have a little more coffee, say hi to the kids. They're off today, and then head out.
You betcha. But tune in tomorrow morning. I know we didn't get to a lot of the info, so tomorrow will be great. And then tomorrow night, provincial preview.
Tomorrow night. Hey, Parker.
Hey, Parker, when you get to school, you give that principal all the hell you possibly can. And if you need a get out of jail card, text Tyson. I'll come get you, buddy.
Yeah, right. He could have used a few get out of jail cards when he was in the penalty box this weekend. Where were you then?
I seen after the game they give him one of those striped outfits, and
he could use a get out of jail free card from the odd hockey game, but he did good. He had a good weekend. He won player of the game in the finals yesterday, so that was great.
Oh, well, that's good. That's good. I love it. And enjoy it while you can, man, because it goes by in a flash. And then it's like, oh, my God.
Yeah. I'm sure that it does. Just like my wallet seems to every time I take him to the arena. I'm like, that thing was somewhat full when we got here on Friday. Why is it very empty?
Yeah. Well, those greasy rink burgers, that's a gift that keeps on giving for years into the future.
The heartburn is still palpating right now.
Heartburn, cholesterol issues, high blood pressure. I mean, those are gifts that just give throughout your golden years.
Thank you, Arena Burgers. Thank you very much.
All right, man. Well, it has been a blast. Once again, check us out tomorrow morning as we'll be live. And tomorrow night, provincial preview.
All right, Tyson. Good luck to your Eagles tonight, buddy.
You betcha. We'll catch you tomorrow, man.
Cheers, bud.